Welcome to the T.O.M.A Nation's weekly Sunday worship service. We are an all inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the social, economic, and spiritual survival of Black people in urban America. If you enjoy what you see and hear today, the T.O.M.A Nation would like to extend our invitation to you and your family to join us each and every Sunday from 12:30 to 1:30 live here on Facebook from Chicago, Illinois. Tune in and be fed by God's messages. For more information, you can reach us at 708 730 4858. Please join me as I recite our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that causes all that exists to exist, He that is self existent, He who directs the sunships of millions of years, and He who made time the seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansav, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and our Renubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now we are going to transition into our 13 points of what we believe and know. Number one, we believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number two, we believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number three, we believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all Black. Number four, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a Black man. Number five, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number six, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number seven, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number eight, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number nine, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the Black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gang banging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the Black community of weapons, break up the Black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young Black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. Number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the creator of the universe under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Fasad Upton, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the Black communities of urban America, to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now please join me as I recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Make sure you're paying attention and your right fist is in a ball raised in the air. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in this future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 millions back of it, whose destiny depends on it, the red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what it's told of it. Thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Please keep your right hand in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Please join me while I welcome our speaker for today, the founder of the T.O.M.A Nation, Minister Raheem Kassed.
Peace, peace, family. In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time, the seat of the universe, is known among ancient Kemites and Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten. Among the Hebrews is Ansel, Yahweh, Elohim. Among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah. Among the Muslims is Allah, the one God. Among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari. Among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, Oshun, and many, many other Orisha names for God. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it is to him whom I give praise and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, those black men and women, children of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, is that lost 13 tribe born here in North America, and that we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. Greet you all in the ancient but yet holy words of peace in the languages of our fathers. Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, Lafia, and Ashe. Greetings, I am Brother Minister Raheem Kassed, founder of this great movement, T.O.M.A Nation, aka Temple of Mercy Association, along with the co-founder, Brother Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and the first lady of our movement, my wife, none other than Sister Makita Aisha Aten, along with a host of other brothers and sisters that are members of this great body who sacrifice their time and their sleep to learn about themselves and their God, to begin to get in line and in step with that understanding of God and live their lives accordingly. And for the last 30 years that T.O.M.A has been around, we've had people come and we've had people to go. But yet, none of them can say they didn't know the truth or they didn't hear the truth, and that they were told that the truths that they hear here, that they learn from this movement, are life-giving teachings, that wherever they go, they should take those teachings with them, and that they should wear those teachings in their heart, in their head. Their whole lifestyle has to reflect the divine knowledge and understanding of the God of creation, the God of the worlds, and their place in it. My job as Brother Minister Raheem, and the mission that God gave me, one of them, was to deliver a clear message. Make it plain. Make it so a child can understand. And that's all I asked you to do, was make sure it was clear, so that whether they hear or don't, whether they forbade or not, that means whether they go by it or not, that's not your problem. Your problem is if you don't make it clear, if you don't, see, when you got this kind of assignment, Whether they're listening or not listening, you must still do what you were sent to do. That is your divine mission. And if you know in your heart, if you've been feeling that all your life, that you had something else you were supposed to do besides look at sports, besides go to entertainment venues, besides just gambling and playing on these devices and whatnot, but you feel like you have a higher calling pushing you to do something about some of the stuff that you see going down on this planet, in your community, in your homes, on your block. If you feel you have a higher calling to address this stuff, then you need to get on your job. There have been many who came before me. There are many that are still here. I'm just one of them who accepted my assignment. It wasn't easy. I didn't just, here's an assignment. I'm getting ready to do it. It didn't happen like that. No, I ran. I fought. I had other humans coming to me saying, you got a calling. You're supposed to be a preacher. Oh, you got this calling on you. You got this gift from God. You got this gift of healing, this gift of this. I'm like, what is they talking about? I'm just trying to be alive. I'm just trying to get through the course of the day, and you telling me all this other stuff. I will go to a church, some prophet would tell me something. I will go to a festival and somebody with a crystal ball or some tarot cards, whatever, would tell me something. But I knew deep in my heart there was something. But I was not prepared. I was a reckless young man, like every other young man growing up. I was a curious young man, getting into all kinds of trouble. But that entity that brought me into this world for that mission protected me, guided me, directed people to me. Yes. But he finally had to knock me down, put me in the hospital, gave me an incurable disease that was going to kill me. This is how you have to wake you up sometimes. You either go in the hospital or you go to jail and you wake up. But sometimes there are some people who accepted the call, didn't have to get beat up back up, and came on in or was led to someone who could guide them and direct them who had been through. And see, God don't leave his people just hanging with all this stuff that's going on in the world. All of the killing, all of the natural disasters, all of the anxieties, all of the mental health problems, and the people who were in control of the world using all of our negatives against us. But God said in the Bible, it says, God is not slack concerning his promise, the way you count slackness. He said that 1,000 years is just equal to one day. And one day, your one day is equal to 1,000 years. You can't even fathom what that's talking about. But since you live in the now, and yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is not promised, then you have time, brothers and sisters, to stop for a minute and pause. Take a moment and recognize who you are and where you are and whose you are. And if there's an assignment or a mission for you, you see those people that was telling me that, I became those people. And now I see brothers and sisters out here who God done anointed, and they running around to and fro, knowing that they feel it in their heart. See, they continue to roll out people of God, just like satanic people continue to roll out, going into the world, come into the world and try to keep it like it is. But then God sends people into the world through the womb of a woman that's supposed to oppose Satan. Oppose Satan's satanic desires. And it constantly grows. So when I see you, I'll be telling you just like I was told. Just like Minister Farrakhan was told. Just like Minister Farrakhan has told others in his movement. Made them ministers. He doing his job. Just make it clear. And that's what we're here to do. Make it clear. See, my title is Divine Self-Discipline. Why? Divine means after the manner of God. It ain't just regular self-discipline. It's divine self-discipline. And even before you say divine, just regular self-discipline by itself ain't easy to attain. Take off self, just discipline. The dictionary definition of discipline and self-discipline is correction or regulation of oneself for the sake of improvement. Meaning that if you want to improve in life, then you got to regulate your life. You got to know what you're doing when you get up. You got to set goals in your life to get to where you want to go. Because any road will take you anywhere. But there's only one road that will take you to divine glory. And that will give you that peace of mind that we all are looking for, but don't know how to attain it. Self-discipline is a certain kind of control. Now, there's a discipline that sometimes you have to undergo to get you to self-discipline. See, self-discipline is internal, but there's an external force that can help you develop the internal. Some need that external force. So what it is a person, whether you look up to them or not, that comes into your life and don't allow you to do everything you want to do, how you want to do it. They constantly nagging you and bugging you. Won't let you just stay in the bed and stay asleep. Won't let you just fiddle around playing games on your phone. Won't let you just sit around them doing nothing. Continuing to ask you, hey, what you doing today? Well, what are your goals for next year? What are your goals for next week? Did you put this together? Did you put that together? Did you write out your goals? Did you put down the things you're going to do today? Bro, sister, you need some discipline. You need some self-control. Because 10, 15, 20 years from now, going to look just like right now, because the pattern that you taking ain't getting you nowhere. Now that's the external discipline. That's if you allow someone to be one of the terms they call your mentor, to be your guide. My few little titles is leader, teacher, and guide. But it was not always that. I had to be guided. I had to be taught. I had to be led. It's just that the manner in which I was led and guided may not be the way you were. See, my guidance and being led was as I was growing up, by not having a mother and a father. God, for some reason, placed different elderly people in my path who gave me guidance and direction for that moment and for that time to get me through that phase, all the way to the next phase, all the way up to when I met my wife. Even she saw that different elders that I would meet would give us guidance. Different people, even on my jobs that I had, my security jobs, they saw a certain light that I had And I asked for time off from one of my security jobs, and they said, look, we see something in you. We know God got something for you. Don't worry about this job. It's gonna always be around for you. And I said, thank you. And I left. And maybe 3 years later, I called them and said, I need my job back. And he said, what's the matter? I said, my license off. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I got these children and whatnot. Now, this is the operations manager of this security firm. He said, well, how much is your life? I told him what it was. He said, hold on a minute. I'll call you back. He didn't call me back. Next thing I knew, my bill was ready. He had a check for my lights and said, I told you, God got something for you. It ain't time for you to come back yet. Bro, I gave him a hug. I took that check. I told my wife about it. Me and her hugged and we cried. And we like, God, he is real. See, if you do the work that God asked you to do, if you take care of his business, I'm telling you without a shadow of a doubt that God will take care of your business. I'm saying this, not from out of my head, but from experience. I could keep telling you different times and ways that something that is not naturally done like you see it done happens to help further you toward your mission, your purpose. If you can just open your eyes. One of the old wise sayings is, when the pupil is ready, the master will appear. You hear so many different motivational speakers and people messing that doggone sentence up, saying all kind of stupid stuff and messing it up. No, you don't mess that up, because in that sentence is a world of knowledge. When the pupil is ready, everybody ain't ready. So God might send you to someone to make you ready. You the pupil, you the student. And you have to become a pupil. You have to become a student. In order to be exalted, you got to humble yourself. If you think you know it all already, it's not going to work. I'm 63 years young. I still don't know it all. I'm still studying. I got people say something. I'm glad God gave me the spirit of discernment. So if somebody says something to me, I'll know it's God. A young man said something to me on the west side. Made one statement. I said, man, that's deep. He had to be about 17. I said, I'm going to keep that in my heart because I needed to hear that. But what if I was this arrogant man, think I know everything? Brother Minister Tahaka, my student minister, he'll say some things. I say, bro, I like that. But sometimes you might get to the point where you think, well, I lead on no nothing. Every time I say something, he say it's deep. Well, whether you know it or not, there's a whole bunch of people just like me, just too arrogant to accept that some knowledge or wisdom might have came out of the mouth of some youth. And you don't want to say it and lift them up because you don't want them to think that you don't know something. No, I know what I know. And I know how to teach it to everybody who wants to know. I know how to listen, brothers and sisters. I know how to study. I know how to teach. I know how to be taught. And all of that together makes you who you are. Maya Angelou said, if somebody showing you that in the action, not in what they say, but if they're showing you in their actions who they are, then believe them. Believe them. But I'm here, along with other messages, reaching out to our people, saying, hope is not lost. But if you can control your appetite, you can control any other desire. Why is that important? Because the world controls you by your desires, the things you long for, the material things that you reach for. The world leads you, Leads, leads you by your desires. I'll give you a good example. Your desire for money, not your need. Everybody wants to say, yeah, well, we need money. No, that's your excuse. You can get money. I'm talking about how you get it. That's where I'm coming from. So look, somebody say, you can get $100 if you come and take this antidote. And here you come, running. Get the antidote for $100. They're saying, we need blood plasma. Can you come and give us some blood? I'm talking about the human vampires that you go to. That's $50. You will see some brothers with some stick, some stuck holes in their arm. You'll think they was drug addicts. They'll be like, no, I go to the donor place every week to get $50. I'm talking about the manner in which you receive this money. That means if you'll give up your life just for $1, then that dollar has become your God. And if your desire is connected to money, then you gone already. If you don't have no self-discipline that will slow you down, that will make you stop and think, that will help you develop certain principles in your life that you stand on, a foundation that you won't let no one bend. I'm not talking about being stubborn. I'm not talking about having an ego. I'm talking about being led and guided by principles of righteous conduct. That's what I'm talking about. I'm giving us a way out of all of these basic mental challenges that you're going through because of what's going on in the world. The world is changing. It'll never be the same. The only person that's going to look the same for is the ones who are being born right now into the world because they don't know enough. But for you and I and others under us, it's changing. And if you don't adjust to the change, you're going to be in a mental institution. Well, they're closing them down. You're just going to be confined in the cage in your mind, walking around, not knowing where you're going, to and from, every day. You need self-discipline. In our movement, T.O.M.A, we study Bible, Holy Bible, and Holy Quran. Now, I said this to a Christian once, and they said, you're double-minded. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you can take the scripture and use it in any kind of way. So how am I double-minded? Because you're reading the Bible and the Quran. I said, what? You sound crazy. You know what I said? No. You're either supposed to read the Bible, you're either a Christian or a Muslim. You're supposed to read the Bible or the Quran. You double-minded. You going, you're trying to do both. That's why, brothers and sisters, because of religion, that you caught up in a net. Again, because of religion, you caught up in a well. You think I'm lying, I know. But let me show you. The internet is a net that leads you, that guides you, that deals with you by your desires and your passions. And you go to that internet, which is where they catch and trap people and fishes and all that. And you are trapped inside that matrix. And you own it every day. And you don't know the difference between it being on your computer or on your phone. Because you're either in a net or on a web. World Wide Web. Spider web. Where they catch lightweight creatures. who thinking they got it all together. And they being led by the media, being led by social media, living their life by social media. There used to be a time when I would pick up a brother or a sister to go on a drive and talk and have a conversation. Nobody else but us two talking so they can get out what they need to get out and I get out what I need to get out. Bro, you get in the car now and start driving, it's quiet as a mouse up in there. And you wondering why. Saying like, normally this person used to have something to say. Normally this person is talking. And then I'll try to make a conversation and they, yeah. And you look over to your right real quick, they're all in the thing. A whole new world. There was a song in a movie talking about a whole new world. It's a whole new world. They ain't even listening to you driving. They ain't doing this. You drive your car, do what you do, I'm doing what I'm doing. If the car got hit, they wouldn't have knew what hit. I got people who visit. I know you experienced it. You think they came to visit you? They came to sit down and start doing this. I'm like, you could have did that at home. You could have did that wherever you went. What did you come over here for? Thought it was for a conversation, thought it was for a study. You trying to have a meeting and they all on their phone. You trying to have a conversation on the phone. We've been caught up in the World Wide Web on the internet, and now we are zombies. Did you hear me? And the only way, and I mean only, the only way out is divine self-discipline. After the manner of God, not any kind of self-discipline, but after God's manner. Brothers and sisters, is this one of God's manners? Tarot cards, astrology, crystals, stones. Is that after the manner of God? I think not. I think in the Old Testament, he said away with that. As a manner and a way to get to him. And he sent you a divine example of the manner and the way to get back to him. And it was through one known as Yeshua, and according to you all call him Jesus. Sent as an example of the way, the truth, and the light. An example for you and I to follow, where you won't take the wrong manner of trying to discipline yourself and looking for a way to find peace in all these other inanimate objects. But he showed you a divine way, after the manner of God. I can even say this, after a manner that is natural to us, that we're naturally drawn to. And what do we mean? We know in T.O.M.A that God is internal and external. That God is microscopic and macroscopic. That God is invisible and visible. Oh, I know what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're surrounded by God. I'm saying that you're surrounded in God. I'm saying that you are submerged in God. But you have to wake up to that knowledge so that it can begin to activate in you. But if you keep looking outside yourself for this God and praying up to heaven for this God, you're not going to find it. Closest prayer and way that you can find him is when you close your eyes and internalize a calm spirit. Oh yeah, this is about divine self-discipline. This is about telling yourself what it can and cannot do. Somebody outside ain't got to tell you. You tell yourself, you can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink alcohol. Then you tell yourself, well, if I'm going to smoke, I'm not going to smoke but 2 a day and stick to it. Don't start when you get having a problem going saying, oh, well, I'm smoking more now because this happened. You could have been exercising and getting yourself together, disciplining your body. And all of a sudden something happened, a wind blow another route, and now you got swept away with it and you stop. What happened to your discipline? Your discipline is challenged in the midst of a storm. Your discipline is challenged the moment a situation that's opposite of what you was expecting or looking for takes place, and you get thrown off for a moment. But it's not that you fall, brothers and sisters. It's about how fast did you get back up. I even learned a slogan off of a soap opera years ago. And this brother said, I might be falling. He was rich too. He said, I might be falling down. He said, but I'm like a cat. I always, keyword always, I always land on my feet. Isn't that deep? See, I know I sound like a motivational speaker, don't I? See, that's how they talk to you every day. But I'm telling you what thus said the Lord. I'm telling you from his holy books, Bible and Quran. I don't, look, you want to have 360 degrees of knowledge. All right? And if you want the other 360, you got to go along that bridge, that's like a 5-mile bridge. So that's 365 to get to the beginning of the other 360, whereby you'll then start being on your way to 720. So the divinity of the 360 is that the Holy Quran represents 180. The Holy Bible represents 180. Each one together represents 300, brothers and sisters, 360 degrees of knowledge. My email address is bromanrahim365. I'm telling you that as a Mason, they can never give me 365 degrees of knowledge. But from the knowledge that God gave me of true Masonry and who we are as the original people of the earth and the true Masons of the whole earth, the building of this planet, the building of everything on it, makes us Masons right then. The true Mason. 365 degrees of knowledge. Working toward my 720. And as long as I'm on this planet, I'm going to be working towards 720, and you should be too. We don't have no time to waste. The devil does not sleep. He's constantly walking back and forth. That's this way and that way. Up and down, that's that cross. Seeking who he can devour. Wake up, black man. Wake up, black woman. Wake up, God's people. We're being pushed out the way. Other ethnic groups are coming into our communities, taking over. We don't know their language, and they don't care to know yours. And we are not standing up and protecting our front line. We're being pushed off into what I would call the Red Sea, the sea of blood. And there's no real fight. Because to have a real fight is not to look toward your oppressor and help you fight him. You heard how that sounded. I said a real fight is not looking toward your oppressor to help you. That don't make sense to do that. You going to the same people whose forefathers and fathers and current children are prospering off the condition that we're in right now in the ghettos of Black America. They profit off of that. If that is their profit, your condition, you think they want you out of it so they won't get no more profit? You ask them, help us. Then they monitor what type of help it's going to be. If it looks like it's going to be the type of help that's going to detach you from them, then they will stop helping you. But if it looks like they can get something out of it, they will fund you. That same group of people will be contracted by the FBI to fund a particular group that might be a little too radical. And they will give them funding, send somebody in to be a part of it, mess up the money, you gone. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, let's pool our resources. That takes some kind of self-discipline to pool our resources. That takes some kind of sense of trust in one another to pool our resources. That takes brothers and sisters who are not attached to money so that it can be out of their hands and they ain't worried about it no more because they ain't stuck on it in the first place, but they got faith and they got hope that wherever it's going to meet its destination to do what it said or they said it was designated for to do. Pool our resources. We don't want to do that for some reason. We got all kind of excuses why we won't do it. So look, here's the history. So-and-so asked for money, and they took it and did that with it. Then down this time of the year, so-and-so took some money. We don't know what he did with it. I put my money in this. We don't know what they did with it. I put my money in that. We don't know what they did with it. So that stopped you from figuring out how to prove your resources. But see, if you was one of those people who practiced self-discipline, the first thought will come into your mind was the same thought that came to Marcus Garvey. He said, where's the black man's president? Where's the black man's government? Where's the black man's military? Where's the black man's this and that? And then he couldn't get no answer from nobody. He said, I'll make one. That's what you have to think like. If you can't trust nobody else, maybe it's because you ain't trustworthy either. But if you are that trustworthy person, then you start one. You sacrifice and start one. It should never stop. God is not going to stop sending messengers in this world as long as it's under Satan's guide. As long as Satan is controlling it, he's not going to stop sending somebody back to this planet, which was created for the righteous. He's going to send people back here. And they are going to go up against this satanic influence that has stole the planet. And they're going to mount up with weapons to fight that Satan. And the job is to destroy it and to bind it up and to get rid of it forever. Brothers and sisters, I don't know what time it is, but somebody will show me. But I'm going to keep going because I don't have no clock. I might go to about 5 o'clock and nobody say nothing, so I'm moving on. The Bible tells us who are the righteous that we have to have restraint. That's a part of discipline. Restraint meaning, hold on, stop, say no. I'm not going to do this. Restraint, because your desires are out of control. They all out of control. And the white man is leading you by that desire. And not only are you out of control, you thinking that it's internal, but it's external. It's the media. It's the radio waves, the television waves. It's in the air. It's in the communication. It's what you're hearing. It's what you're seeing. And they're subliminally leading you and guiding you and telling you what to do, what's good for you, what ain't good for you. What was his name? I was going to say Bush. Trump exposed them for who they really are. Trump exposed the media for who and what they really are, the lying press. But God is creating a press club of brothers and sisters who want the truth, who wants to put the truth out, who don't care about what the other media is doing, but putting out an alternative media against the lying press and the lying media to let us know truthfully what's going on. No conspiracy theory, but facts. So we can know what's happening and get in line to adjust ourselves, to free ourselves from these conditions. So you gotta practice self-restraint. If you don't practice self-restraint, you're gonna lose in the game. And alcohol gonna take you out, cigarettes gonna take you out, COVID gonna take you out. Why? Because you're not practicing healthy lifestyles. You're not practicing eating the right food. You still want to argue with somebody when they tell you to let go of meat. You still want to tell yourself you can't. So you don't want to practice. If I don't play my horn in practice, I couldn't do a whole 1 hour show. You still got to practice. Even though God gave you the gift, you have to practice. And if anything you don't practice, it gets out of control. You start drinking, now you're drinking all day. Now you're drinking when you wake up. Now you're drinking before you go to bed. Doctor telling you your liver getting messed up. Eyes turning up. Now you're making excuses. Now you're addicted. You can't get out of it. And so now you die an alcoholic. You die a drug addict. You die a sugar addict. So much sugar and starch that you got diabetes. Look at it. Now the devil, he first sent us a plague that he attached to our sexual desires, and they called it AIDS. And because we didn't have any self-discipline, y'all get me? In our sexual affairs, we didn't have no discipline. When our body said it wants something, we go get something. We don't care. No discipline. Hey, are we ready? No. I'm saying no. That's what you got to tell me. No. Not until it's time. Well, it'll tell you it's time. You say no. Self-discipline. But they attached it to our sexual desires, and now AIDS is everywhere. Then he kept going to where that now they attached this particular, I ain't gonna say that word, this particular plague, they attached it to our health. Knowing, brothers and sisters, the statistics of diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, and heart disease, they know, and you know, that the targeted group that's number one in underlying conditions is the Black man and woman. Not only just here in North America, but over in Australia. They know this, that we're number one. So they knew automatically who was going to die the most, who was going to be taken out the quickest, the ones that are number one in the underlying ailments. So now they attach that to that plague. They attach the other plague to your sexual desire. Now where do you stand? Whole world changed. You can't get on the plane. You can't go to the store. You can't go in the restaurant. You can't go in the club. You can't go to an entertainment venue. To go to the Inglewood festival that's coming up, they said you have to have a card to let them know that you took the antidote. You got to have another card to say that you took the test to see whether you don't have the plague within 48 hours. You got to show that at the gate. You will not be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. The numerical value for corona, C equals 3. O equals 15. Write it down. 3, 15. Aura equals 18. O equals 15. N equals 14. A equals 1. Added up is 66. Now count the letters of corona. C, O, R, O, N. Did I do that right? C-O-R-O-N-A 6. You put that 6 next to the 66. The number of a man, the number of a beast, the mark in your hand, that's your card. The mark on your forehead, when they stuck that thing up there all the way to your pineal gland and had something on the tip of it. Oh, you were born back in March and April of last year. God, through all of his messages, was saying the same thing. I would come on every day for 30 minutes called Vantage Point. And I would tell you everything up to where we are right now. And it's still some more. But you're either going to adjust to it or you're going to rebel against it. But if you're all by yourself, it's going to be short-lived. You're going to give in. People's relatives who took the antidote is saying, you can't come in my house. It's saying, you crazy. I took it. And said it proud. I took it. What's wrong with you? I took it. And I'm saying, what's wrong with you? I could see wearing the mask. Both of us wearing it. Because anybody could be asymptomatic. Wear the mask. Okay, I'm good with that. But to tell me whether I take the antidote or not, I can still get it. To tell me whether I take the antidote or not, I still got to be 6 feet to tell me that and say I can still be asymptomatic. To tell me that I can still be able to catch it. It ain't adding up. It ain't making sense. Then somebody said, you'll only catch it a little bit if you take the antidote. Damn it, I don't want to catch it a little bit. Hell, the little bit I've seen ain't good. A little bit means excuse me, that's because I'm hollering. A little bit means right before you get on the ventilator. Did you hear what I just said? So if I take the antidote, I might get the plague just a little bit. You're telling me in English, if I take the antidote, I'll still get the plague, but I won't get to the ventilator. But I'll suffer up to that point. And since I was playing yesterday, did an outdoor show, concert, did another concert that evening in Naperville. Now I'm standing here hollering before you. But y'all don't know how much talking takes from you. And God cured me from asthma, bronchial asthma. God cured me from sarcoidosis. These lungs didn't have to work out. And I'm playing, exercising these lungs, and I'm talking, and throat getting itchy and scratchy. Do you know that Abdul Muhammad in his later days was ill a lot from all that talking? Messed with his lungs, messed with his throat. Preachers, vocalists, being hoarse and stuff. But now I'm not only being a musician, I'm talking too. So that's like 2 days of all of this. But I'm working it. See, all I'm trying to tell you is this. Know where you're going. Know what you're supposed to be doing. Polish your craft. And keep God first as you do it. Keep him ever before you. When you want to know if something right or wrong, you should say, what would Yeshua do? Well, if you know another human being that seems to be close to God, say, what would that person do at this point in time? If you can't get in touch with them, what would that person do? And call them up, get their advice, get their direction. I call up people, they may not be wiser than me, but they might be sharper than me in how they view life and think. And so I'll call them and listen to them. And then I'll call another one and listen to them. And God, in his infinite wisdom and how he helps me to make oneness out of things, will pull what I was thinking together with what they were thinking. And there go my whole message right there. Stop just sitting on your butt. Stop just accept what's being given to you. Stop thinking there ain't no way out. I won't be able to keep my job. Well, you don't believe God will take care of you? It took me a long time. You might keep your job if you fight. The only reason you won't keep it because you ain't gonna fight. You ain't never press charges against somebody. Let them fight, then sue. Pull together a group of people, family members or whoever that work, and say, we're gonna pool our resources to sue whoever fires one of us. We're going to sue. We're going to use our money. If it's you, we're going to use our money. Because if you win the suit, it's going to save all of us. Pull together a council of workers and pool your money to find out how much it's going to cost to sue that company. Then you all go to work. Hire your lawyer if you have to. And sue the hell out of that company. Fight. Stand up. Put God first. Be in the world, but not of it. That's what the book said. Be in the world, but not of it. It ain't no better time than now to prove who you are. My brother Joshua in the Bible said, prove you this day whom you gonna serve. And then he said, I'm gonna tell you now who it's gonna be for me. He said, as for me and my house, I'm gonna serve the Lord. Then there was a thing between whose God is the real God. Is Baal the God, or is my Hebrew God the real God? And it was called the God who answered by fire. Y'all gotta go in the Bible and read this stuff. But it challenged people to who they said they served. Now you got so-called Christians and preachers who found a way to craft God's word into making it right to take this antidote. Said it's God's, something like it is pleasing in his sight. God said this too, preacher. He said God can't be mocked. You shouldn't mock God. That's mocking. God will not allow you, if he gave you some good sense, to go headlong into a wall after being told it's a wall, after being told it's a brick wall, after being told you ain't gonna be able to smash through it, and giving you the evidence of the past, how many people tried to smash it and what condition they was in when they tried. Look, it's God, brothers and sisters, who gave the idea for the virus. It's God who, after Satan made the virus, increased its morbidity rate. Yeah, increased it. Why? Because it had to play out Revelation. Revelation is here, and it must take place. You preachers who are praying for God to stop this, it was ordained by him. I'm gonna read something. This plague was ordained by God. God don't leave his people helpless. He gave you a way out. He said, put the blood of the lamb on your doorpost. Now, because your preacher taught it to you a certain way, now you lost. Because you didn't know that the blood of the lamb on your doorpost was the life of Christ in your life. You didn't know that. Now you got to hurry up and get back on your post so that you can pick up the life of Christ. And the quickest way is to read the New Testament and all that stuff that Jesus said that's in bold red. And all the stuff he told you to do, start doing. And if you don't understand how to do it, talk to someone who's practicing that form of self-discipline, the divine kind, that's after the manner of God. The discipline that Yeshua had was after the manner of God. That's the kind we need, brothers and sisters, to survive. Yes, resist Satan. Yes, resist satanic influence. Yes, bring balance to your life. If you got some little things and habits and whatever that ain't right, that ain't good, which most of us do, then control them. Don't let them control you. Gain a grip on them and say when and when not. Not anything goes, just let it all happen. That's not a life. That's a death sentence. I'll say that again. That type of living is not living. That's a death sentence. Brothers and sisters, I play at funerals. I done done over 500 of them in my life. More funerals than weddings. I play in many different places, many different venues. And I be around human beings a lot. And the atmosphere is not the same. I see Christians now who they used to restrain themselves from how they dance to gospel music or to how they even dance, period, when they're having fun. And now I'm beginning to see them twerking. I'm beginning to see them do some of the same things I saw in venues that was not supposed to have been a Christian event. That means they fell off. That means they let go. That means they are gone and don't even know how far off they went. Their pastor gone, don't know what to do. Found out that, yes, he's a man of God, but he still could learn a little bit more too. That he still can study and grow higher than where he is, because where he is not helping him now. He's went to a certain point and stopped. But he didn't want to read nothing else. He didn't want to study nothing else because he got caught up in religious denomination, where a certain denomination won't allow you to cross the line. See, I'm not Muslim, brothers and sisters. I'm not Christian, brothers and sisters. I'm saying it straight out. You'll hear in other lectures how I break it down, but you go there, I'm going to say this now. No, I'm not either or. I'm not Buddhist. You cannot tack any of those titles of denomination on me. I am of none of them. I am not atheist. I am not what y'all call it, agnostic or something like that. But I'm not that either. None of that. I am a child of the Most High. I am a descendant of the original man and the original woman that came with the earth. I am a descendant of the first beings that came to the earth, that made it with the men and women of this planet to create beings that have their DNA plus human DNA. Yes, they are female beings also. They are all male. The key terminology for any beings that are in the image of God: arms, legs, nose, eyes, ears, head. In the shape and form of God, they are all male. They are all men, woman, female, male, man. The whole universal code for those beings are men. Man. Man. Y'all need to know this. Now, there are some creatures that are not man, but you need to study this for yourself. There are some beings that are not man, but the majority of them that are made in the image of God are men. There's no fight between male and female in their world because they know they are men. And that doesn't mean masculine. That's a ethnicity. That's a universal ethnicity. Man, come out of your foolishness. Black man, black woman, come out of your foolishness. Don't follow this world and try to separate you from your woman. Don't follow this world and try to separate you from your black man. Come back to one another. Join back up with one another. Learn again with one another. Become one. And that unity will begin to formulate a new government that will push the old one out and bring in God's government. Somebody better put the time up. I'm putting my glasses on so I can see. Because I'm going to another one now. If I don't see nothing, I'm looking at something else. It says self-contained. It says self-control, self-government. You govern yourself. You govern yourself. In ancient Kemet, they had 9 or 10 virtues. A virtue is a specific excellence, a specific quality that you have or that you attain in your self-discipline. And there are 10. I'm going to read all 10, but I want to talk about the first 2. Because if you don't master, brothers and sisters, the first 2, you ain't finna get the rest of them. You can't start from 10 and go back. You can't start in the middle at 5. It won't work. If you don't master the first two, that's the balance right there. That's above, so below. The first 2, if you don't master, and that's why I said when the pupil is ready, the master will appear. And now that I got you there, I'm going to show you the next stage of a pupil or a student waiting on the master. When the pupil of your eye is ready, that means when the light get in, bright light, get in to open up your iris so that you can really see and be drawn to the light of God. And you see that light has been on your instructor's aura all that time. You did not know he was there. It don't have to be an instructor in class. It could have been a friend walking with you all the time. It could have been an elderly person you was going to see a lot, but you didn't even know that you were in the presence of a master, an ascended master from on high. But one day, your pupils dilated and the light came in. And when that pupil was ready, the master was already there. Y'all thought appeared mean he just won't show up. No, he was already there. You just didn't recognize you was in the presence of a master. Why? Because you was running your mouth too damn much. You was doing all the talking. You wasn't doing no listening. And so you wasn't hearing nothing. You wasn't seeing nothing. But all of a sudden, the pupils were ready and the master appeared. That's the second level. Let me read this real quick. It's called the 10 virtues. There was a life of virtue was a condition required by the Kemites in their mystery schools. This is where Masonry started, y'all. Way back when, before white folks had it. I'm talking about thousands of years. Because today they think Masonry came from Britain, the Grand Lodge of the Orient, over in Britain somewhere, or London, or somewhere over there. That's what they teach you all out here. But I'm saying it came from Kemetic Lodge. I'm gonna read. Here are the 10 virtues. Control of thought, control of action, excuse me, steadfast of purpose. 4, identity with spiritual life or higher ideas. Excuse me. 5, evidence of having a mission in life. 6, evidence of a call to spiritual orders or the priesthood in the mysteries. 7, freedom from resentment when under the experience. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta stop hollering. Freedom from resentment when under the experience of persecution and wrong. 8, confidence in the power of the master teacher. 9, confidence in one's own ability to learn. 10, readiness, being ready, or preparedness for initiation. Why initiation? One of the good things about an initiation, one that's divine, all right? One that's after the manner of God. An initiation plays out the message that you're supposed to receive, or the knowledge that you're supposed to receive is played out like a play. And because you're experiencing it, you will never forget. To teach it is one thing, but to play it out and help you to see it through a physical way helps you to attain it better and maintain it better. So now, all that you were taught, you have to be initiated into it. The second stage. And it's all physical. It's not a real thing, but it's a play. It's something staged. And in the end, when they go back over it, you begin to see what it meant. It was all about life. It was all about how you are to live. It was all about how you overcome adversity. It was all about self-mastery, self-discipline, self-restraint. All these excuses for the stuff that you continue to do because you don't want to grow in knowledge, in wisdom, and in understanding. Sometimes your body or your mind told you to stay like you are. And then you never find out the highest level in attainment of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you could have had, that could be rightfully yours, because there was a point that you did not want to go beyond, that you limited yourself to. And you didn't have to, but you chose it. By whatever circumstances you found yourself in. It don't matter. I got put out. You know how many times I got put out? I got put out. I even ran away from some places. Me and my wife, we got put out of apartments. And my children, well, we ain't got no food. We didn't have none either. We made it. That's how we found out what the miracle of God was. Because it was some things that happened for us that man couldn't take the credit for. Did you hear what I said? That's a miracle. I said there was things that happened for us, good things that happened to us while we were under those conditions that man could not take credit for. They were called miracles. But had we not experienced it, had we not aforetime knew about discipline and practiced certain self-disciplines like fasting, practice certain self-disciplines like becoming vegetarians, we would not have been able to be even worthy to experience those miracles. God is a miracle God, y'all. I know my time is up. God is real. God is seen and unseen. God is all those names and he's none at the same time. In our opening, you hear me say Ansof. Ansof. Ansof is the all things and no things at the same time. All things and nothing. Nothing means no thing at the same time. Ansof, the all. And when some being or some entity is the all, ain't no room for nothing else because it covers it. It's all. The all. Ain't nothing in front of it, ain't nothing behind it. It encompasses everything. The all. Wouldn't you like to be under that light? Wouldn't you like to have that covering of the all? Wouldn't you like to be in a position to know that this little vehicle ain't all, but is a part of it? Isn't it enlightening to know that the real you resides in this vehicle and it's temporary? Oh my God. I know y'all would say, wow, it's temporary though. For something better. Isn't it enlightening to know these things and walk the earth in humbleness and walk the earth with peace of mind and walk the earth with a calmness of spirit, not fearing nothing but the Creator and his creative forces? Get in line with it. Become a part of it. We welcome you into that world. We welcome you with open arms to be a part of God's army. Be a part of God in resisting Satan so he might flee from you. Be a part of those, or in line with those prophets and men and women of God that came before us and sacrificed their lives for us to be here right now. Be a part of crafting and forming and shaping the future for our children, for our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Be a part of that army that represent God. I thank you for listening. And I hope with divine instruction that the Creator placed on your heart and on your mind to make a change. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, it's time to change. Change your heart, change your mind. I leave you as I greeted you in the ancient holy words of peace. Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, and Alafia. Ashe, brothers and sisters. Peace.
Thank you for joining us today for our weekly worship service. Please feel free to support our grassroots movement by donating to us on Cash App at T.O.M.A. Nation. Once again, that's T.O.M.A. Nation. You can also reach us at 708-730-4858. Please feel free to share this video widely with your friends and family, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Peace and blessings.